What's good, Commanders fans? I am super excited about this news. The Commanders will be having joint practices with the Baltimore Ravens. I'm super excited because I live not too far from Owings Mills, Maryland, so I can't wait. I'm definitely going to be in there August 15th and 16th. They play the Ravens on August 21st, which is a Monday, their preseason game. But this is a long time coming. This is the first time with Ron Rivera that we have done joint practices, and I think it's something that we need to do. I think it's something that we need to do. The last time we did it, I think it was against the Jets. I remember DJ Swearinger getting up in Terrell Pryor's face, and then of course I remember with the Texans where we were on Hard Knocks. We weren't the feature team, but you know, unfortunately, D'Angelo Hall tore his Achilles guarding DeAndre Hopkins. But this is going to be really good, and this is against a perennial playoff team. Of course, the majority of people in my comments said they did not want Lamar Jackson, but we're going to be able to see Lamar Jackson up close and personal in practice, and he is an MVP candidate for sure. An excellent franchise quarterback. Just got paid a ton of money, which I feel like he deserved. Lamar, he's just, every time he plays, his team makes the playoffs. He just has, what is he, like 64, and I forgot his record as a quarterback, but has like an 80% winning percentage or 60% winning percentage, something like that. So it's gonna be fun, man. I forgot the Ravens even picked up Odell. We're gonna see Forbes versus Odell, Kendall Fuller versus Odell. I know some people think Odell's not the same guy that he is, but he's still a good receiver. Rashad Bateman, I always like Rashad Bateman coming out of Minnesota. You know, they got a good run game, of course. Mark Andrews, their tight end. So we're going to see how we do against tight ends, against a really, really good tight end. On defense, they got, you know, Roquan Smith. The corner's okay. Kyle Hamilton. I know a lot of people like Kyle Hamilton coming out. Marcus Williams at free safety. Marlon Humphrey, who's a good cornerback as well. So this is really good. We need a test, man, because Ron Rivera, a lot of the times we don't have joint practices, and the starters, they barely play in a preseason game. We always have these slow starts. So it's time to switch it up and do something different in camp. And I get to see Eric Bieniemy up close in person. I get to see him, you know, turn up on the guys, you know, just being eccentric and energetic and just bringing that swag as a coach and just bringing that energy and that fire. So the 15th of August and the 16th is like a Tuesday and a Wednesday. So I'm going to definitely try to be in there. Of course, I get to see Sam Howell practice up close and personal, Jacoby Brissett, that battle. I'm very intrigued and looking forward to that quarterback battle. So I get to see Sam in practice, Jacoby in practice, Terry, Jahan, and all those guys. If it is open to the public, I think it is open to the public because I remember the practice against the Jets was definitely open to the public. But that was years ago. I know we had a joint practice with the Patriots, with Tom Brady. When Tom Brady was on the Patriots. So we have had a couple of joint practices over the past decade and a half, but it feels like we just haven't had one in a long time. And I think it's a long. Morgan Moses is on the Ravens as well. I forgot about that too. So you will see Chase Young and Montez Sweat go up against Morgan Moses. So they should win that matchup. But I am a fan of Morgan Moses. He was always a good guy. So Ronnie Stanley. So, I mean, we're going up against a legitimate playoff team, J.K. Dobbins, a team that's going to be in the playoffs again. So this is a good test going up against a team that we know for sure is a perennial playoff team. Even the backup, Tyler Huntley, we saw what they did to us last year in the preseason game. Tyler Huntley went crazy in that playoff game, went crazy on us, and he usually does in the preseason. So Ravens got Aguilar as well. So Hard Knocks, I know a lot of people brought that up. I used to be a guy that wanted us on Hard Knocks. I'm not really invested in it anymore or care about it. I think the last time I watched Hard Knocks was when the Browns were on there with Baker Mayfield. And then they had, I think the guy that they were following, or I remember the Texas one where they were following around Richie James III, who was a cornerback. They had him as a feature story. That's like the last time I really remember watching it like that. I haven't watched the Hard Knocks during the season. I didn't watch the Amazon Prime one when Ron Rivera was on the Panthers. I haven't watched it in a couple of years. I didn't watch the one with the Cowboys either, but I'm not banging on the table for us to be on Hard Knocks, but if they are, it is what it is. Of course, I'll watch anything that has the Commanders involved with it, but I think it would just give some more behind the scenes on Eric Bieniemy and stuff like that. I think you would get to see his story really, really good. So, but I'm definitely going to be in there. I'm definitely going to be in there. I am. If they open it up, I'm going to be in there for sure. I am going to be in there for sure. I'm intrigued. I get to see Terry up close. I went to the open practice last year, and I saw Terry McLaurin 2 years ago at training camp. But I haven't seen Jahan up close yet. I haven't seen a couple guys up close for sure that I would definitely like to see and maybe have a conversation with stuff like that if they do let fans go. I mean, when I went to training camp a couple years ago, when I saw Josh Norman and some other guys, they didn't really let you get too close like that sometimes, but you know, it is what it is on that. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Like I said, Emmanuel Forbes versus Odell, and what's his name, Rashad Bateman. I'm a big fan of Rashad Bateman. I like him a lot. Nelson Aguilar, guys like that. So he will be tested. He will be tested. So I'm really intrigued, man. I'm really intrigued. So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys are going to go to the open practice. I know it's early. I mean to the training camp when they have it. I know it's super early. It just came out, but let me know what you guys think. Will this help us? Because what teams usually do, because I remember the Chargers, they did it. They barely played their starters in the preseason games because they use their open practice as, you know, really as like a game, you know, a game type of intensity. And they would barely play their starters sometimes. They would see, you know, who really played well in practice, and they would just rest them in the games and stuff like that. Because I remember when we lost to the Chargers in game one, I think the Chargers, like, they didn't play their starters at all, like, during the whole preseason. They just really took advantage of the open practices. Now, we only get 2. I got to look up, you know, the previous years, like, how many times people usually have joint practices. But, yeah, once again, I'm intrigued. So I'll give you guys a couple prize picks again. Every time the playoffs, I love the playoffs. I love the NBA playoffs. It's probably my favorite type of playoffs. I love the NFL playoffs too, but I love a Game 7. Game 7s are so fun to watch. Even though the Celtics-Sixers Game 7 was awful, it was a blowout. But I got Jokic getting over 53.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And I got Anthony Davis getting over 12.5 rebounds. Last night I did hit with Max Strus getting the over, but I did miss on Jason Tatum getting over 14.5 rebounds and assists. So I do got Jokic getting over 53.5. He's been cooking every game. He had like 69 points, rebounds, and assists. Just something ridiculous. Yeah, 69 against the Lakers, 54 against Phoenix, 54 against Phoenix, 68 against Phoenix, and 64 against Phoenix. So he's been on a tear in this playoffs, man. He's been virtually unstoppable. And then AD, he had 10 rebounds last game, but he had 20 against Golden State. He had 15 against Golden State and 13 against Golden State. He had 9 on May 10th. But other than that, he's been clearing 12.5 boards. So I think he's going to get about 15 to 20. It's a big game tonight for the Lakers if they want to bounce back and steal one in Denver. But I do have the Nuggets winning tonight. But like I said, that's Prize Picks. Use my promo code RealEdOliver in the description box. Use the link down below. You get 100% deposit match for first-time users. I am hyped for this. I am very hyped. The Baltimore Beltway rivalry is somewhat of a rivalry, really. And we play well against the Ravens in the regular season. It doesn't matter with the practice, but, you know, the Ravens, we beat them with Kirk Cousins. We beat them with RG3. Unfortunately, with the Hello to Nadi hit or nada. But we play pretty well against the Ravens in the regular season. We don't play them this year, but once again, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this. I really am. I'm excited for this. All right, you guys, we needed this. We need this to get, because Ron Rivera, these slow starts, 1-5, 2-4. He knows that if he starts slow again, Josh Harris ain't gonna play around. Josh Harris already fired Doc Rivers. It was really up to Daryl Morey, their GM, to do that. But of course, Josh Harris had to give the approval for that to happen. And Doc Rivers is a championship, you know, winning coach, NBA Finals winning coach. Went to the finals with the Celtics, won the championship. He's a decorated coach, and they fired him. So, you know, all right, y'all. Hail to Commanders. Peace.